and I have a dream today. Yes, I do have a dream because I'm trying to push some P around here. You know, uh, I've seen, I've seen what I've started to see more and more in today's society when it comes to birthdays, holidays. Let's give someone their flowers. There are those who want to then take them, step on them, spit on them, rip them up, burn them. That's fine. Do what you do. Because if what you're doing is speaking on something that's true, I can't be mad at you. We balling, big baby. You heard? And let me put some P real quick. Let me put some P. I asked the question, was Dr. King pushing P? I just want to know if he was pushing P. I mean, I know he wasn't pushing pods because you couldn't push no podcast back then. And I know he was pushing back on prejudice, so he was pushing P away from black folks, right? But it's that another P. I don't know if he was pushing, punching, but y'all sure didn't have no problem bringing it up, did you? And I'm like, why y'all bringing this up? So let me talk a little bit. Let me talk real quick about the P that it's alleged that Dr. King was pushing. Two things can be true. Three things can be true. Four things can be true. A lot of things can be true at the same time. And if you're not one to accept that your whole perspective is whack, and you should fade to black. But the people bring up Dr. King's womanizing past. I'm not here to defend it. I'm not here to condemn it. I'm not here to do anything on that. I'm just going to say that two things can be true. You can be a good man. You can be someone who's fighting for a cause bigger than you, and you can still have your weaknesses. You can still have your shortfalls. Romans 3:23 that all have sinned and come short of God's glory. And I was taught that no sin is bigger than any other sin. So if every sin carries the same value in the eyes of God, who are you as a man to pick and choose the sins that matter more? Now, we can talk about how that works in our legal system where we pick and choose the crimes that matter more, the offenses against society, right? That affect us more than others. I'm not going to argue that because some things, hey, look here. If you're a thief, I don't need you off the streets forever. But if you're a pedophilic murderer, you got to go. I don't want to see you ever again. I'm afraid of you. But even still, I also have a certain spot in my heart that says that, everyone can be reformed under the right circumstances. Uh, yeah, I'm anti-death penalty today. I'm all about reforming people into functioning members of society. And then if you prove that you cannot be reformed, then okay, you sit in the hole. You know what I mean? So one thing I think we miss is we get so caught up on elevating people instead of actions. Because here's what happens when you elevate people and not the actions that they do, you get disappointed when they come back down to earth because guess what? All have sinned and come short of God's glory. We all are human. We're not God. We're not deities. We are humans. And because we are humans, we are subject to temptation. We are subject to mistakes. We are subject to sin because we are going to sin and sin and sin and sin again. And And guess what? Luckily, we don't have a guy that's like Eric Carbon, because Eric Carbon's like,
Screw guys, I'm going home.
or if we tried to act like we were God and wanted to be God, we would hear this right here.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Because we're not that, but because we are humans, we are given the opportunity to take our experiences and learn from them. We get to live our life. God's got our back, man. You know what I'm saying? We balling, baby. Yes, we are balling because God gives us a chance to learn from our mistake. And I'm not here to preach a sermon. Oh, no. That's not what we're doing this podcast. But I want to talk to you about the fact that, hey, Dr. King may have done what he did. He may have been a womanizer. He may have been stepping out on Coretta. I'm not going to defend that. I'm not. But if you're going to try to take that and use that to take away from the good that he was doing, then you're a part of the problem, because you're not looking at the end state. You can't compartmentalize what's going on here, because everybody has a flaw. Nobody is perfect, but you want to pick and choose the flaws that you don't like, the things that you're not okay with. So because you're not okay with it, oh, it's supposed to be a problem for everybody. No, that's not how it works. Because see, here's how I try to look at things, right? I want to look at an issue for what it's worth. What was good? What was bad? What was the plan? What was the goal? And how did we get there? So if the goal was to fight for freedom for people who look like me, and he fought a hard fight, and he made progress, that would matter. That's what matters to me. Now, if his wife wants to say that, yeah, man, he was a great activist, he was a great preacher, he was a terrible husband, she's the only one who's married to him, so she can say that. But it's not for you or me or anybody else to say that. And, and for those who want to weaken Dr. King's message for what has been made apparent that he was doing outside of his home, for those who want to weaken the message of others who may not be perfect in your eye, and they may not go about their lives the way that you want them to go about it, I don't know what to tell you, because it's not your place to judge. There's only one judge around here who truly matters when it comes to eternal life, and that's God. That's not you. So stop trying to be God.